Thank you.
Oh, good afternoon. So my presentation will be pretty lightweight. We touched many excellent presentations we watched over the days, over last 2 days. But I will tell more about the shop floor experience and then and our experience with the implementation of one of the Industry 4.0 aspects. So pretty my short bio. So I started with Corning, so it was not Pharma, but I joined Abbott in 2013 for serialization, and I was here also in 2013 as a first on the second MES Process and Minds event. Then I continued also for Abbott, but under Cognizant, working for Cognizant. I left Pharma for 2 years, moving to Accenture, doing a little bit different things, but I missed Pharma so much that I come back to in 2019 to Takeda, to the manufacturing plant in Poland inside we.CONECT. And since April this year, I'm with Orifarm because the site was moved from Takeda to Orifarm, so Orifarm bought our site and another one in Denmark. Oh, so the few words about the Orifarm. So it operates mainly in the Nordics, in Scandinavia. So this is one of the bigger player in the parallel import. So in total, we have 1,900 people, and the turnover is more than 1 billion euro. So, and starting this year, because of the acquisition from Takeda, Orifarm became one of the biggest pharmaceutical in Northern Europe. So those are the markets when Orifarm operates. So mainly the para-import is in Nordics, as I said, also in Germany, Belgium, UK, Austria, Netherlands, and the other pillar of the company, like generics, they are Eastern countries and also Scandinavia, because there are two main pillars. So like the para-import and generics. So very short history of the Orifarm. So it was established in 1994. So started with the para-import. Then through the mergers and acquisitions, it became bigger. It started to Orifarm entered also the generics area, and so another acquisitions in 2015, 2018, acquisition of Pilatus, and coming back to the end, ending with 2020 when the Takeda assets, so two plants and plenty of products were taken over from Takeda to Orifarm. So that was the biggest acquisition, and thanks to this, now we are 1,900 people. So this is the site where I work in Poland. So we have more than 400 people. So our manufacturing is solids and non-sterile liquids. So our main markets are Europe and Northern CIS and META, and we've got pretty modern machinery park, as I can show in a second. So about the Industry 4.0, so there are many, everyone knows those buzzwords, so everyone is familiar with them. So we selected one of our, it was more like a little bit like R&D project. We selected the autonomous robots and cobots. So for the project that I'm going to tell a few words, that was not pure, I would say, optimization or highly business case project. The project was mainly dedicated to collect some experience, to get some experience with robotizing. Of course, it was also kind of cost avoidance. So because we didn't need to hire the new people, but ROI was not the most important in this case. So it was not the ultimate goal. So we selected the secondary packaging line to implement Cobot, and the goal was to place unit cartons into the outer cases. And the assumption was the loading of the Cobot was like 4 kilograms, and another maybe factor that for selecting the specific Cobot was the human outlook as much as possible. That was just our idea. So out of there were plenty of selections on the market. So we selected one. It was Sawyer by Rethink Robotics. So and also key thing here that the station that was implemented thanks to this Cobot was kind of hybrid model of work. I will show it in a second. What does it mean? So in a picture, so basically that Cobot is not packaging itself. It is together in one station. There are people and the Cobot. So they are like fully collaborating one with each other. So it was designed for 3 formats of the same product. So on one line. And the other goal was to have adapted this Cobot to our so-called automation standard, what is MES readiness, and implemented with data to have some data integrity solutions implemented. So this is the concept of parallel work. So like 2 operators, one is packing the goods, taking from conveyor and doing the manual traditional packing, and the other one is supporting Cobot with placing the cartons in the special socket, and then removing the full ones. And then I think the better will be shown in on a short movie. So that's the product where it was implemented. So you can see the socket where the carton box is located. You can also see some small like QR code. I will explain it in a minute what it's for. And from the other perspective, the movie, the product. So just taking and then using the gravity, the products are falling down. But it was either the Cobot itself and the implementation was pretty straightforward for the integrator company that we selected, but they were not at all experienced with pharma regulations. So the Cobot itself didn't have any built-in readiness nor data integrity capabilities. So like there was no possibility to connect to the historian and to record the parameters, alarms, to download to the work recipe or work order. There wasn't any access levels for the different levels. Not to mention that accounts for each of those level. So like no user account and also no audit trail. So all that we require to pass the computer system validation was not there. So we had to think how to add this, how to implement this. So together with the integrator, we just thought that we need to upgrade the Cobot. So even it was pretty new, let's say Cobots are like Industry 4.0, but they are not meeting the, I would say, Pharma 4.0 requirements. And so we just thought, after many discussions, we just thought to add like extra cabinet with the PLC inside that is supporting the OPC UA transfer. Then also the HMI to display the alarms for the recipe configuration with a Polish user interface and the user management for the accounts. And also on the side, the RFID sensor for the user's logging. They don't need to type in the passwords. So there you can see this cabinet. So this is the other. So this is okay. Okay. So this is the whole concept. So like the black box is the original cabinet of the Cobot, and the cabinet on side is added. Inside just the PLC and the screen from this HMI with the statistics, with the that we can actually control the work to select the recipe, to approve to accept, to stop or pause the working. So the recipe selection actually is done automatically based on the gripper that is installed to the ARM, and after this, Cobot doing homing, it verifies the QR code that is on the socket that you could see on the movie, together with the gripper, which is installed. So the sockets and the gripper, they are dedicated for one product. So we had 3 sets of them, because I said that we use this for 3 different products. And the landmark is used for the homing. So when we start the operation, then we do the homing, so then the Cobot knows where to operate. So the qualification validation, so the qualification, the technical and the performance quality aspects were checked, and it was pretty easy. But during process, the process validation, the whole process, the packaging process, we had to think a little bit differently, because the process was not performed only by the Cobot itself or by the operator itself. It was hybrid work. So some of the units were packed by the humans. Some of them were packed by Cobot, and we had to make sure that everything that there is no quality risk. That the data, what needs to be printed, so that the data that are printed are already there. And everything is not damaged. So this was a little bit challenge, because it was also new for everyone. Such type of model, such type of work, and this model of work. So, but finally, we treated this validation like a black box. So we did some. We did a risk analysis, and then verified and then it was verified what was expected at the ending of the process. So few words of the summary from this project. So generally, the operator's reaction was much warmer when they saw the face. Smiling or eyes was moving than the pure robotic arm. But on the other hand, the some comments from the people were like seen here. Okay, robots are taking over the job places, because we implemented the robot. Then even it was not too speedy, so it cannot replace 5 people, for instance, but the perception was okay that Cobot is more, let's say, more human-like being, so then humans are not needed anymore. But here is also let's say, the follow-up of this project. But finally, because it was just like kind of proof of concept, as I said, the ROI was not the ultimate goal, and finally we replaced the Cobot with the machine that is dedicated for this workplace, which is the typical case packer. And even the case packer is 3 times faster. Then I didn't hear such remarks from the operators that the case packer is taking over the job, right? But I think due to the perception that it doesn't look like a human. And another also, because the overall project was pretty good, despite one presentation of the product where the outer cases were too tight. There was tight enough to put by the human the small units, but Cobot sometimes hit the the carton, and then it damaged, it scratched, and it depended on, because it was depending on the different sizes of the cartons. There was not enough margin between there was not enough space in this case. So that's why the overall perception, even it was working fine, but this one presentation of the product, for this one product, it was not received well. So if we had to keep the Cobot, then would have to think about changing the dimensions or changing the cartons or making smaller the unit cases back, because the root cause was that during the project the artwork department decided to make the unit cases a little bit bigger. So that made that we didn't have enough space in the shipper case. And I didn't want to present the pictures, but because it didn't look really nice when the Cobot tries to put the cartons into the unit case into the carton, then crushes them or tears them out. So that was really, of course, the product was not defected, because it was inside there was the glass bottle. So, but we had to do unpacking, and then fortunately the product was not serialized, so it was much easier. So the key takeaways from this presentation. So even despite we took the brand new system like the Cobot, it was not ready to be for MES, which we at the time planned to be rolled out. So it didn't have enough connectivity capabilities. So that's why we had to upgrade this. And very small things sometimes may make the project to be not fully successful, I would say. And the last one, due to the pretty new process of this hybrid packaging, we had to redefine our validation approach. So it was not like the machine only does the packaging or the human does, it was combined. So that's why we have to think about how to make it properly. Okay, so that was it. So thank you for any questions.
Can you use the microphone? Thanks.
The film which you showed, was that real time or was it slow motion?
Ich habe keine Hand.
No, that was real time.
So it looked like a fairly relaxed process. Two people waiting until the robot was putting something into boxes. Looked to me much better to put one person there, put on pressure, and let him package. So, just I wonder what the whole framework was like.
Yeah, as I said, there was kind of more, I would say, R&D, and then the business case was not very strong, I would say, in a delicate way. The movie was taken during during the training or right after the validation, so it was not after some period of time. So when the people were used to work with this, and then the efficiency could be improved, because for instance the Cobot could replace roughly not full 1 FTE than I would say.
Yes, that was my impression. You said also that you replaced it later with a case packer, the whole thing. You used the case packer in the end.
Yes, finally now we are using the case packer, right?
But was the intention to try out just specifically the human-like Cobot, how that would be doing at the line, also with the human interaction?
Yes, that was one of the intentions. So as I said, it was thanks to that we had some funds for this kind of the project, so that doesn't need to meet a very rigid and strict business case, so that we could, I would say, explore some different capabilities. But we knew from the very beginning that in less than 2 years it will be replaced by the case packer.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay. I have a question about machinery safety. I assume this robot has some certificates
Yes.
that it complies with European Machinery Directive, etc.
Yes, it does. It has. There is the so-called SIL, and it has number 3. So it is safe. It is prepared to cooperate with
SIL,
humans.
level 3. Yeah, okay.
And I tried also on myself when I stood nearby, and then it hit me. Then it was not too strong, and it did stop. But unfortunately, after such hitting, we had to do rehoming.
Okay. Because you know, if you have energy in a mechanical system, if it drives with fast speed, as you were asking, you do not get out the speed immediately. So if somebody approaches very fast and the robot is moving fast, even if he has sensor, he needs some time to slow down. Did you check such topics?
That's why the speed. That's why the Cobot, the idea of Cobot is, I would say, questionable. And the place for the implementation, you need to find a specific place because of the Cobot and its safety, it cannot operate too fast, too speedy.
Okay, so the robot does not have a camera to see persons approaching?
No, it doesn't. It has the sensors of the how to say.
No, on the skin or?
No. There's no scanner. There's sensor over that it uses when the motors uses too much power to move.
From the torque of the electrical drives. Okay.
Yes.
But this only reacts when you are already touching the robot.
Hits, yes.
So before you have no chance. It's like blind.
No.
Okay.
Exactly.
It has.
Sorry. It has, but those eyes do not work
see.
in this sense.
Okay. Good. Well, not good yet. It could, but it's just the start.
Yes, it was the beginning. So now we are thinking about implementing this in the QC in the laboratory, when it has the speed is not so critical. But there are different requirements. But then I think that there's much better location than the production line when you need to be very speedy with the operations.
There are more modern systems already on the market. So, but okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Are there any more questions? So thanks very much, Radoslaw.